guys, welcome back to my channel for another pet video. You guys have been asking to see cage tours, and so what I've decided to do is to try to do a video of each animal's cage. So today we're going to be looking at the hedgehog's cages. My hedgehogs do get playtime outside of their cage a lot. In fact, if you see my other videos of hedgehogs, you'll notice that I do take my hedgehogs outside and they get to run around on the ground. But it is important to still keep their cages with environmental enrichment and make sure that they are comfy homes that the hedgehogs will be happy in. So today we are going to be looking at Wilbur the hedgehog's cage and Quill the hedgehog's cage. First, I'll be showing you Quill's cage. This is actually a parrot cage that I got recently at the Bird Expo in Arizona. I'm housing two of my green cheek conures in the 2 levels on the top. They are not in the same cage. This is 3 separate cages. I don't like the idea of putting a bird in the last cage because really parrots would not enjoy being this close to the ground. So since this is just over the minimum size for hedgehogs, I decided to try it out for Quill. And so far it's worked great. He isn't very active and I think that he's been enjoying this cage. He is getting a little older and is either in bed or on his wheel, so this cage has been good for him. One of the great things about this cage is that it is super secure. You have to lift the latch to open the door. It has these metal bar floors for the parrots, but that can be taken out. I took it out for the bottom level and just left the tray. Surprisingly, I was able to get him on fleece bedding. I used to use Carefresh for him because his poop would be everywhere, but in this new cage he did start using his litter box. I have a mat underneath the fleece and then 2 fleece blankets on top of that. I also have a piece of fleece that I wrap around the side of the cage, and I secure this with some clips that are for chips and then some clothespins as well. I wasn't really sure if this would work, and I was hoping that Quill would not pull at it, and thankfully he has not been pulling at it. He actually completely ignores it. I don't think that this method would work for all hedgehogs because some of them would probably just pull it off. He has his Igloo House so that he can feel really hidden while he sleeps, and inside of the house I have a hedgehog snuggle sack from Tiny Whiskers Boutique. Quill loves his snuggle sack. It keeps him warm and it's a lot cozier than just the bedding. And then he also has a fleece tunnel that is also from Tiny Whiskers Boutique, which he likes to go into when he's playing during the night. He has several cat toys. His favorite is this green one, which has catnip in it. A lot of people are afraid of having catnip near any other animals than cats, but catnip is not harmful to other animals. It's just that most animals don't really care for it the way that cats do. But hedgehogs are an animal that seem to like it a lot and it can't harm them. He also has wood toys because he likes wood for some weird reason, and some other cat toys. And then on the side he has his wheel, which is in his litter box. Hedgehogs poop while they run, so usually the best place for a litter box is underneath the wheel. I use Carefresh bedding for litter. Some people use paper towels or fleece too. This, for example, is a pee pad from Tiny Whiskers Boutique, and this can be used under the wheel for the litter box. But I use it on the side to catch the poop that falls off of the wheel. The good thing about fleece is that you can always reuse it. You can wash the fleece and the snuggle sacks and the pee pads, and then they are ready for another use so that you don't have to throw them out. And then his water bowl is on the side and his food bowl is on the side as well. Both are ceramic and so they're heavier, so this prevents them from tipping over. Okay, so the second cage I'm going to show you is where some people are going to get really upset. This is Wilbur's cage, and yes, it's a tank. So I'm sure you've heard that tanks are bad for hedgehogs. So let's talk about why that is, because usually people just say, oh, it's bad, don't use it. And they don't actually explain why it is bad. Tanks, of course, can hold humidity better than an open wire cage, and a hedgehog can get sick from too much humidity. And this is where it's important to remember that the same situation is not going to apply to everyone. How humid the tank is going to depend on your climate. If you live in a humid climate, don't use a tank for your hedgehog. My climate is super dry. I've told you before, I can't keep geckos in a Repti Breeze cage because I would never be able to keep the humidity high enough for them. But they do work for other people. I have my geckos in a tank and I even have to cover the lid of the tank with plastic to keep the humidity at a decent level. I would also not want to have Wilbur in a cage with bars because he is just one of those hedgehogs that would climb the bars and end up falling. So this is much safer for him. And then there will still be people saying, well, put him in a bin cage instead, it's better. So, funny thing to note here is, you have your hedgehog people who say plastic bins won't hold humidity, and the tanks do hold humidity. And then you have your snake people who say plastic bins are good for snakes because they hold humidity better than tanks. Anyway, what you can take away from this is that people will complain no matter what. So if you want to use a tank, just take into consideration your climate, and of course don't let the urine build up. But if you're taking good care of your hedgehog and cleaning the cage, you shouldn't have to worry about ammonia. So as you can see, Wilbur is on fleece 2. He has a little welcome sign hanging above his cage. His cage is longer because he's more active than Quill. He has his Igloo House with his little snuggle snack from Tiny Whiskers Boutique, and his fleece tunnel and pee pad are also from Tiny Whiskers. I sometimes find him sleeping in his tunnel. I think he likes it a lot because it's really soft and really cozy, and the material is actually pretty thick, so it keeps him pretty warm. He basically has the same stuff as Quill. He has his wheel with the litter box underneath it, which is also Carefresh. He has his food bowl on this side, and then his water bowl is over in this corner. I make sure that the water bowls are in the corner because the hedgehogs are less likely to step in them. I've recommended water bottles before because dishes can be hard to keep clean. You just have to see what works best for your animal. And that's it for the hedgehog cage tour. Be sure to check out Tiny Whiskers Boutique on Etsy. Flora has all kinds of handmade items for guinea pigs, hedgehogs, sugar gliders, and rats. Link will be in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and if my voice sounds kind of weird, I've been really sick this week, so hopefully it didn't sound too bad. And don't forget to subscribe. You can also join me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Bye!